So Candace Owens left the Daily Wire a couple weeks ago, fired, left on her own, mutual agreement. Whatever it was, when Candace Owens left Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire, it was not on good terms. And then towards the end of the week, Friday, and it continued over the weekend, and will continue throughout this week a little bit, Monday and Tuesday, maybe beyond. There started to be this online dialogue and conversation between Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens. A little later, Jeremy Boring got involved, and it was on Twitter, X. And it was about a debate between Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens. And I want to talk about this a little bit because I think that there's quite possibly a scam going on here with these guys. I'll tell you what I'm talking about. So Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, then Jeremy Boring, they're going back and forth between the three of them on X. And it's about a one-on-one debate between Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro. Mm-hmm. And Candace Owens is talking about Joe Rogan moderating the debate. Then Patrick Bet-David comes out and offers to donate over $200,000 to Lincoln Riley's family if this debate happens.
Oh, my goodness.
And Ben Shapiro tweeted back to Candace. It's all in the same thread. You can read through all of this. I'm not going to read through all of them. I'm just giving you the capsulized Reader's Digest version. And Ben Shapiro says, no moderator. He accuses Candace Owens of wanting to hide behind a moderator. Mm. And he challenged her to debate him at the Daily Wire headquarters, 5 p.m. Monday, which I'm assuming they're in Nashville. That's in Central Time, I believe. So 5 p.m. Central. And Candace doesn't want to do it at the Daily Wire under their thing. And Jeremy Boring came in and said there could be no moderator, just the two of them. It will not be behind the Daily Wire paywall because you have to have memberships to watch a lot of their things. And they'll stream it live on YouTube, the Daily Wire, and Twitter. And I'm starting to get very suspicious about this whole Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, Daily Wire, whole thing, from her leaving, being fired, having a tough time to this, and I'll tell you why. The first thing is this. Candace Owens is a very good debater. Ben Shapiro is a very good debater. You've seen them many times debate many different types of people on many different types of things. But like with most commentators, influencers, hosts, whatever you want to call people, everybody has their areas of expertise and areas of weakness. Mm-hmm. Ben Shapiro's main area of expertise involves Israel. He knows everything, not just about the current state in Israel. He has a detailed, intimate knowledge, just off the top of his head, of the entire history of Israel and their conflict with Palestinian terrorists, sure, et cetera, et cetera. Candace Owens, that is probably, out of anything I've ever heard her even utter publicly, that's her weakest area. She thought that Muslims were racially segregated or religiously segregated in Israel. That's her weak area.
So they would just debate this particular issue only?
Well, once something's live and it's happening, who's going to corral that in? So that's the first reason I'm very suspect of this whole thing is Candace Owens knows she's weak on that issue compared to Ben Shapiro. Mm-hmm. So why would she put herself in a situation where she could just be steamrolled by a guy who you're talking about debating someone on an issue where you know little about?
She might not know she's weak on that.
Maybe she doesn't.
She's pretty arrogant.
You're right. That's possible.
She might think she's great on that topic.
That's true. And it's not something you could just be schooled on and briefed on real quick. There's too much detail. And Ben Shapiro, that's like he's more knowledgeable about that probably than any other single issue. So that's one reason I'm suspect of it, because Candace Owens, you could be very right, Kathy, she's very is too weak on that versus Ben Shapiro. Then the other thing is this. Obviously, Candace Owens is out because of her position on Israel. There's no doubt. I mean, they may have had other conflicts at the Daily Wire. You know, I'm sure she's a diva. She's famous, big personalities. Ben Shapiro always has more views than anybody else at the Daily Wire, which is very odd because he's one of the most detestable people they got. I mean, I don't know, but he's not likable. I agree with him.
I don't understand the appeal at all.
Well, there isn't. It's not organic. They do a lot of their a lot. I agree with Ben Shapiro on all of his positions on Israel.
I don't really like anybody at the Daily Wire.
But I don't
Michael
like him.
Knowles is horrible.
I don't like Michael Knowles. He's
awful. He's obsessed with certain issues that say a lot about him.
I do not like Ben Shapiro, though. I don't agree with him on, I don't think, much else other than his Israel issue. He's a never-Trumper. He said terrible things about Trump.
She's a never-Trumper, too.
She's a never-Trumper. I don't like never-Trumpers. I don't like Ben Shapiro personally. I mean, I just think he's annoying to listen to.
He's very annoying.
And I don't his voice, he talks as fast as an auctioneer and everything else. But I'm sure these massive egos, there were all kinds of conflicts at the Daily Wire other than this Israel conflict. But the Israel conflict is why she left, why she's out. And they left, at least publicly, on very nasty terms, right? And it makes no sense for – I've never heard in my life of Ben Shapiro and Jeremy Boring, who are the top guys at Daily Wire. I know Ben Shapiro does not have an official management position. He says he has no power. That's BS. He's the co-founder. He's got all kinds of juice. He's co-owner. Give me a break. But when have you ever in history seen the top executives and CEOs of any company, any business, 2-3 weeks after they have a high-profile firing or leaving of someone, sit down live where 100 million people could watch, because these are both very powerhouse people. It's an unusual thing where they could say anything. And
let me say this. Here's what they have a lot in common. Okay,
other than egos,
they both have big egos.
Oh yeah,
they're both big trolls. And they both like to make a lot of money. And they want to make a lot of money. So I think what happened is she was fired or she wanted to leave, whatever. They parted for whatever happened, okay? And now they are both trying to figure out how they can capitalize off of this, okay? Because just talking trash about each other is not making them any money. So they both have a similar mindset in that regard. Like, how can we capitalize and make money off of this situation? So that's what's happening now. They both think like that, and now they're trying to work it out on social media, the best way to do it. And he wants to do something on Daily Wire where he'd make money off it and get memberships. She's obviously not going to want to do that. She's going to want to make money off this too. But nobody cares. Okay, somebody had tweeted something about this. About them having a debate and this and that, and people are like, "There's more important issues in the world right now. I really don't care what these
Trump
two think about
America.
it." And so I don't think it's going to be the big moneymaker that they hope, but they have to strike while the iron's hot in their mind. If every day that goes by, people care less and less, if anybody does care.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to do something that's why he wants to do it Monday. I think they're going to do something very quickly. And they will work it out where they both benefit financially somehow off of this. I don't know how they're going to figure that out, but they're doing this for money and to lift themselves up and to help themselves. They're not doing this because they care about the issues or they care about America.
Well,
they're
Kathy,
both narcissistic opportunists.
I agree with everything you said. Now, my guess is that the Daily Wire probably lost a lot of their paid subscribers with Candace Owens leaving because she's so famous.
I know they did,
and it might be a hit. She needs a good launch of something.
They both need a boost
for whatever she's going to be doing. But when you are an insider like Candace Owens has been at the Daily Wire, I don't think there's any scandal with Ben Shapiro or Jeremy Boring. But there could be embarrassing things that she knows about them personally that she's picked up over her time because she knows everybody that works there and everything. And she could bring up any of that. And for an employer to bring somebody on they just fired or they just left it is very risky. So
maybe there's not anything that she can bring up. Maybe that's why he's not worried.
I don't know. But you'd be surprised what you hear from people griping and stuff. And
I don't think Shapiro and her had a lot of interaction.
No, but she knows. But no, I agree. Not personally, but she knows everybody that works there, and people gripe, and there's office gossip. She could bring up stupid things, true or untrue, to embarrass him and others. I'm not talking about scandal, but just embarrassing things. And it could be the way that he eats. Maybe he eats with his mouth open, or he's a mess in the men's room and leaves it stinky. I don't know. It's just such an unusual, risky thing that I'm starting to think that two possibilities are one, which you said, they both need a troll publicity push.
Yes.
So they're trying to do this very climactic, which I think will be anticlimactic exchange between Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens, because I don't really think a clash between these two is going to be that interesting. Or
I think it'll backfire.
This whole thing with her leaving under such crazy circumstances is totally fake. Like the World Wrestling Federation, back in those days.
Could be the WWE.
And that all of them needed a big boost, and they concocted this whole story.
That's true. That could be possible, too.
But I got to tell you, the father of the new media, I think, is Andrew Breitbart. I know there were other people online that did things before Breitbart, but he started this new way that we are now. And the problem I'm seeing with the top people in the new media, which is the conservative media that's online, there's too much ego getting involved. It's becoming all about them and what did they say and what did someone respond to them about and what do they think about what this person said, as opposed to talking about Trump saving America, making America great again, and are these new media powerhouses, which are millennials, are very, it's typical of millennials. You see in Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens very similar personality traits that you see. I think
there's a lot of narcissism
AOC.
In the millennial generation. There's a lot of narcissism there.
They're behaving like AOC. It's all about them. Yeah. Everybody cares about them. They're narcissists. They're egomaniacs. And, all this support and excitement we have over new and conservative media going around the corporate mainstream fake news is being destroyed by these egomaniacs. And there's other egomaniacs. Okay, these aren't the only two, but these are probably the top two. Yeah. And I'll say Joe Rogan is bigger than all of them. Yeah. And I don't sense the ego from him.
Do you think he'll have anything to do with this, or do you think his thinking is these guys are so far beneath me? Bringing Joe Rogan in is they're doing it to elevate themselves.
It doesn't help Rogan.
They need his audience. He doesn't need them.
Correct.
So I don't think he should get involved in this at all. He should be like, this is not worth my time.
I agree.
I mean, if he could get Trump and Biden to debate, that would be interesting. But who cares about these two debating? It's like DeSantis and Newsom. Who cares about those two debating each other? It was an exercise in ego. It was
perfect
stupid.
Connection. DeSantis and Newsom. It was
nobody
stupid.
gave a damn. It was stupid. It was self-serving. And I really hope Joe Rogan does not get involved in this, because they would just be using him. Candace Owens, and I feel, is, unless she gets a position with Trump, I could see her kind of fading away or just being much less than she was. I don't know. I could be wrong. A lot of people like her. She has a big audience. But I think one of two things happened. This was completely orchestrated, but then, that they concocted this whole thing for to boost them both up. But I think more likely she left, and they both want to capitalize on this scandal and try to make money off of it while they can. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because in a couple weeks, it's really going to be like nobody even cares at all. So they got to do it soon.
I agree, and
they're opportunists.
I'm fed up with it, and they're being very self-destructive. Which they're both never Trumpers. Yeah. So I'm not shedding tears for them, but the conservative media, these ego exercises that are going on are just weird. There's one last thing. I wasn't going to mention this, but I want to mention it because it just popped in my brain with Michael Knowles. There's this
another weirdo.
Michael Knowles has been doing this thing this past week. Yeah. And this is a trend with a lot of people of sitting down at a table and doing a podcast and talking to OnlyFans models.
It's so creepy.
And the OnlyFans models, they got their boobs hanging out. They're dressed really, you know how they dress. And they have these conversations with them. And I find it kind of creepy.
It's very creepy.
I know that if I did what Michael Knowles has been doing, he sat down with, 5 or 6 of these really bimbo-ish OnlyFans girls that are still doing it. And then he did another one with an OnlyFans model that came out of the lifestyle, but I didn't watch the whole interview because I'm really not interested in what OnlyFans models think about much of anything. But in the title on Michael Knowles' video, it said she made $9 million. So I don't know. Did she wake up and say this is not the way, or did she make $9 million and said I can retire? Right? I don't know. But Michael Knowles sitting down with these OnlyFans models is really creepy. But when
it's very creepy, and I don't know if he's married or not. But
yeah, he's married.
But if you were doing that, I would have some serious problems. I mean, what is he, the great savior of the OnlyFans?
Yes.
Women.
Michael Knowles is the savior of the OnlyFans girls.
And I watched a little bit of his interview with one of them,
and he
was really enjoying it. I mean, you could not wipe the smile off his face if you paid him $1 million. This guy was having a really grand old time, and I think that it's more about him and what he wants to do than him saving or helping anybody. He's clearly getting off on this, and he really talks a lot about sexual topics, and that's all I'm going to say. He's a creep.
He's
sorry.
Creepy. Now, Kathy and I watched together some of the Michael Knowles OnlyFans interview.
About 5 minutes.
And, these girls, it's obvious because he had asked them a question. What if your uncle subscribed to your OnlyFans and these weird, bizarre things? He's
like getting off on it.
He sounded like the creepy uncle during this conversation.
Exactly.
And you look at these girls, and some of them are really pretty. Some of them are not. They all have huge boobs, and they dress, like strippers.
Yeah.
And they, they're not smart people. To sit down, these are girls who they're not all brilliant. And I'm not talking about these celebrities that are washed up that are doing it. But these girls that like Michael Knowles and others are sitting down with and talking to from OnlyFans, these are girls that don't have 2 brain cells in their brain. Most of them, they grow up very poor. They got nothing. There's no opportunity. All they got is their body and no inhibitions.
I bet this is really hurting the strip club industry.
Oh, I bet it is. And to sit down and try to have logical conversations with OnlyFans models is the only reason you would do that is so you could be close to these nearly naked girls at a table.
I don't understand
it's very creepy.
The logic behind it other than
I wouldn't do
his own creepy little fetishes that he's using his show to do it. And like I said, if you were doing that, I would have serious problems. Maybe his wife does, but you would not be. Things would not be good at home. I can tell you that I would not like it.
I was watching on the I forgot what the name of the YouTube channel is. The YouTube channel that does the true crime. We've been watching the Apple River Killer.
Yeah,
and I like true crime.
Yeah,
I always have. I find it interesting. But this OnlyFans model that murdered her boyfriend that's here in Miami that's on trial. Her parents got arrested this past week, or recently, because they have been accused by the police of Miami of deleting some things from her computer before they turned it over to the to the police, to their attorneys who were going to turn it over to law enforcement. Whatever. You see these things where they ended murder. I saw one. There was one. I don't know if it was the one that murdered her boyfriend or another one that ran into legal trouble that was in the news last year. Her boyfriend or husband basically had her as a slave. She was not allowed to stop doing her OnlyFans streaming all the time because it was making so much money. Women that are involved in the sex industry, regardless of the stupid things they tell you because they're too stupid to know, they're all being abused.
Yeah.
None of them do it by choice.
About it.
And to sit around like Michael Knowles is and kind of grin and try to have logical discussions, these are girls to feel sorry for.
Yeah, I agree.
And
just because you make a lot of money at something doesn't mean it's a good thing. I mean, you can make a lot of money selling drugs, and you can make a lot of money doing a lot of things that are illegal or unhealthy. It doesn't make it a good...
It's all prostitution.
It is. It's all under that umbrella. And I feel sorry for these girls that they feel this is the only thing they have to offer the world. Yeah. But you have celebrities now. I just read an article. They're trying to get Britney Spears to join OnlyFans. Okay. There was an article in the Daily Mail. Some analyst, I don't know why he has nothing better to do, said that if she joined the platform, she'd make $100 million a year, which is probably true. I mean, pornography is very lucrative.
She's got that skin flaky problem, though. She's got to get rid of that.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, she does. I saw a couple years ago. There was something on TV. She had like this thing where her skin was flaky.
Guys won't care. But pornography is a very lucrative industry, and OnlyFans is very popular, and she would be the most famous person on OnlyFans. I mean, she's globally famous. So she would definitely make a lot of money. But they put this article on there because she's always doing Instagram and TikTok where she's half naked
for
and
free.
posting pictures for free. So they're thinking, but this is not, these are not good role models. And I really feel sad that women do this kind of stuff and are still, women are more demeaned now than ever. A lot of people think we've come so far with women's lib. I don't feel that way at all. Getting women out of the kitchen and taking care of their children was supposed to be a good thing, and taking care of their homes. And look at how society has devolved since women's lib. In the 50s and 60s and the 40s, women were home. They raised good children. They kept the families together. What's wrong with taking care of your family and cooking meals and getting them to school and all that? Now they're doing OnlyFans and emulating Kim Kardashian. That's how far. That's crazy.
Well, yeah,
it is not empowering. It's demeaning.
And I don't care what anyone will tell you. Michael Knowles sitting around with all these OnlyFans girls is creepy.
It is creepy.
He enjoys it too much.
Yes, he does.
And he's not doing it to help them. He's doing it because he enjoys it. Now, I want to tell you
it to help himself.
I want to tell you guys that with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, when you use that promo code at mypillow.com, you are supporting our content. You're supporting all the content I'm connected to, the podcast, my YouTube channel, the radio show, and there are great deals going on. You could take advantage of all the specials at mypillow.com with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, and it's free shipping on all orders over $75. And again, you can use our promo code on all the specials at mypillow.com, not just the ones I highlight, but I just want to tell you guys the MyPillow mattress toppers are as much as 50% off with our promo code Kane at checkout, and it's free shipping with those because they're more than $75. Kathy and I have been sleeping on the MyPillow mattress topper for as long as Mike Lindell's been selling them, and we got it right away. So I don't know how long it's been, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, I don't know, but it will change the way you sleep. If somebody asked me the other day, well, what if you have like an old mattress and if you have an old lumpy mattress or a lopsided mattress or something, if you got a problem with your mattresses cost as much as used cars. I mean, their mattresses are expensive. Don't get a new mattress. Get a MyPillow mattress topper. It'll give you a new mattress at peanuts compared to what a new mattress would cost. It comes in every mattress size as well. And we have experiences with all three of them, the 2.0, the 3-inch, and the 2-inch. Our guest bed has the 2-inch. We got the 3-inch on our in our bedroom. We got our daughter the mattress topper for her house in California, and also we got one for our daughter's sleeper sofa, so that when I visit or the grandparents visit, that sleeper sofa bed is now like a beautiful mattress because we got the mattress topper for the sleeper sofa. So they're 50% off, as much as, and they come in every mattress size, as much as 50% off with our promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout, and free shipping. We'll be right back.
Men, are you tired of looking tired? You can turn your tired eyes into a vibrant and refreshed look with a specially formulated under-eye cream for men at Amazon.com/shops/Meditati. That's MEDITATI. This anti-aging formula is designed to repair and protect your eyes against the common signs of aging. Dark circles, puffiness, and those pesky crow's feet gone. With Meditati, you'll say goodbye to those tired eyes and hello to a youthful appearance. It's packed with peptides, vitamin C, jojoba oil, green tea, CoQ10, and other essential ingredients. This formula will keep your under eyes bright and refreshed. It also keeps your skin hydrated with the highest quality natural and organic ingredients. It's crafted by skincare experts, and this non-greasy, lightweight formula absorbs quickly and efficiently, nourishing the skin around your eyes. So if you're tired of puffiness and wrinkles, go right now to Amazon.com/shops/Meditati. That's MEDITATI. Don't miss out on this chance to give your eyes the care they deserve, because you and your eyes deserve it. Amazon.com/shops/Meditati. Cherish the memories of your loved ones with a resting place crafted with care and compassion with the Vermont Urn Company on Etsy.com. Everything at the Vermont Urn Company on Etsy.com is handcrafted by an artisan with over 35 years of experience in the casket and urn industry. They're family-owned and proudly local, ensuring your experience is both personal and meaningful. When you visit the Vermont Urn Company on Etsy, you'll find a wide range of urns that reflect your loved one's life and interest. From military and nature themes themes to birds, religious, nautical, public service, patriotic, and more. Each piece is handcrafted with care, customizable, and made right here in the United States. Use the promo code RADIO at checkout and save 10% off your purchase. Preserve the memories that matter most. Visit the shop right now on Etsy at etsy.com/shop/The Vermont Urn Co. That's etsy.com/shop/The Vermont Urn Co. The Vermont Urn Company, where every urn is a symbol of love, respect, and lasting memories. Etsy.com/shop/The Vermont Urn Co. Are you a parent of a daughter? Then boy, do I ever have a book that I want to tell you about. But Dad, I Love Him, from author Kevin Boyle. It's loved by readers from around the globe, from places like Britain, Australia, Canada, the US, and Germany. Readers have been saying that, but Dad, I Love Him is one of the most captivating and eye-opening books you will ever read. Calling But Dad, I Love Him a book that's rich, insightful, and transformative, and deserving of a place on every woman's bookshelf. If you have a daughter, you are going to want to give her this book. It's a conversation that every parent should have with their daughter about life, love, dating, sex, and relationships. Buy it today. But Dad, I Love Him, from author Kevin Boyle. You can find it on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, and hardcover edition. But Dad, I Love Him is filled with easy to learn, easy to use, step-by-step real-world dating, relationship, and communication tips and strategies that will help any daughter of any age have a deep, fulfilling, loving, successful relationship. Order your copy right now. But Dad, I Love Him, from author Kevin Boyle, on Amazon.
You are listening to The Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at BrianCraigShow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
This crazy actress from Blackish was a guest on a radio show on Sirius XM and said just racist, terrible things about President Trump and MAGA. Let me play, then we'll talk about it.
As soon as he takes the oath, he will have generals walk down the steps of the Capitol. He will take a hammer and break the glass where the Constitution is, and he will tear it up in our faces. And say, now, I'm the king of the fucking world.
What a lunatic.
You will bow down, bitches.
He's going to say the F word and bow down and use the B word. That's going to be some inaugural speech.
This is a very deluded woman.
He will punish everybody that didn't vote for him. Let me tell y'all how I know this shit. I know it because I know what mental illness looks like.
Yeah, obviously, when she looks in the mirror every morning.
This is Trump derangement syndrome, like the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He will punish everybody that didn't vote for him. Let me tell y'all how I know this shit.
God.
I know it because I know what mental illness looks like.
Clearly.
That mania is unstoppable. See, this motherfucker's Hitler.
I don't think her co-host agrees.
He didn't come to play.
She said, She didn't call her out on it.
I love how she pauses like for 30 seconds after every sentence because you got to soak in her genius.
Yeah. Now, Laura Loomer must be listening to us record the podcast because she tweeted. And this is amazing.
Like in real time.
Yeah, either she's listening or great minds think alike. But Laura Loomer posted this on X today. Why is the Daily Wire wasting time interviewing hookers instead of trying to help President Trump get elected?
There you go.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about in the last segment, Laura Loomer. And
that's the real question.
Yeah. You know, one of my favorite people in the MAGA movement is Kash Patel. And I got his book. He wrote a children's book about President Trump. We got it. It's a good collectible. I have it in the nightstand with some of the other collectible books. And I don't know how this came up, but Kash Patel, they're talking about him being attorney general. I didn't know that he was an attorney. You know, and whoever Trump picks as the attorney general they got to be. They're going to have extra special work they got to do because there's so much crime going on with this lawfare, and MSNBC, they're having meltdowns over this.
But what jumped out as potentially the most alarming detail was that within the actual Trump campaign, the person whose name is being floated to be Trump's Attorney General of the United States to run the Justice Department is this guy.
We will go out and find the conspirators, not just in government, but in the media. Yes, we're going to come after the people in the media who lied about American citizens, who helped Joe Biden rig presidential elections. We're going to come after you. Whether it's criminally or civilly, we'll figure that out. But yeah, we're putting you all on notice.
That is Kash Patel, the former chief of staff to Trump's Secretary of Defense, a man who is apparently on the short list for Attorney General if Donald Trump retakes office.
Okay. You know, it's really amazing to me when you hear this on MSNBC. There's so much criminal activity going on in the government. You know, the biggest scandal right now no one's talking about, and that's this corrupt judge in the Stormy Daniels case, right? His daughter works for some political consultant firm, and the daughter was paid $10 million by Adam Schiff's campaign and Joe Biden's campaign. Now, I know political consultants are paid very well, but $10 million, what is she doing that is valued at $10 million? And I've been talking about this pretty much every show for the last week because I think it's important. I mean, I'm not into repetition like Hannity, but I get so frustrated that this isn't focused in on. The judge in the Stormy Daniels case, his daughter's getting paid $10 million by Biden and Adam Schiff's campaigns. And the judge over the weekend put even a stricter gag order on Trump, which Trump keeps violating. He's not going to do it. He says, this is corrupt. I'm not going to do it. If they're going to put me in prison, I'll be like Nelson Mandela. He said this on True Social over the weekend.
I think he wants to call their bluff. I really think
he's trying to get arrested.
He wants to go to jail but they do not want to do that. I don't think they thought it would ever go this far. I think they really felt that he would drop out and beg them to leave him alone and be like, look, I'll go away, just leave me alone. I don't think they realized how far he was willing to take this.
Well,
and I think he almost wants to be put in jail.
Maybe he does. And you know, this judge,
imagine what that would do for him.
Listen,
oh my goodness.
There are top political consultants, right? Yeah. James Carville in his day with Clinton, Dick Morris and others. And I don't know if they even get paid that much, okay? And they win national presidential elections.
Right.
This judge's daughter getting the $10 million from the Biden campaign and from Adam Schiff's campaign, the daughter of the judge in the Stormy Daniels case is to her dad what Hunter is to his dad. This political consultancy thing she's got going on is like Hunter on Burisma. It's totally corrupt. The money's really for the judge.
Yeah, it smells.
Come on. The money's really for the judge. And if it's on the up and up, which I don't see how that's even possible, he should be recused. And what does he do? He keeps trying to shut Trump up because I guess maybe they already got the money, Kathy, and probably spent some of it. So they're not giving it back or they can't give it. I don't know. But the media, you know, this thing that Kash Patel's talking about, investigating the media, I know on the face of it that sounds crazy, but this media are involved in criminal conspiracies with the government against the leader of the political opposition, Donald Trump, right? And they're involved in a frame up, and it's not wrong to look into that. Now, the illegals that are just coming here nonstop as we speak, you know, this country is being invaded. I want you guys to think about this. You know, the United States is being invaded every second of every day, right?
Yep.
It's amazing. It's scary. I feel so sorry for people in particular in Texas, but all the border states. Texas is larger, right? They got a bigger chunk of it, you know. But I just feel so sorry. What must it be like to live in a state that is all day, all night, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, being invaded by criminals, by murderers, by rapists and drug traffickers and terrible people?
Well, now it's happening.
It's got to be scary
nationally.
How can you be safe in your community while this is happening?
Well, what's happening too is these people coming in are, you know, not just violent criminals, they're also con artists. And there's a whole new grift being perpetrated on, I was reading, on wealthy people in California. So they deserve it as far as I'm concerned, because they're voting for this crap. Mm-hmm. And there's gangs that are targeting very wealthy people in California and I can't remember
from Chile,
exactly.
Chilean gangs.
Yeah, and they're running some kind of grift on them, and
they're breaking into their mansions when they're not home.
Right,
I guess,
they're doing that, and then they're also squatting.
Mm-hmm.
And they're stealing things, but they're also doing like another grift with taking their money. These are bad people, and they're coming in and they're hurting.
No good comes from it.
You know, when you're president, you swear an oath to protect the country from invaders, foreign and domestic. And Biden and his ilk, they see MAGA people as a bigger threat than these illegals.
Mm-hmm.
They think we're the real danger, but that these illegals coming in and raping and killing people and stealing and squatting and all this stuff, they're the good guys. But American citizens that pay taxes, we're the bad guys,
That's
even
right.
though we've done nothing wrong,
Mm-hmm.
other than support Trump. I mean, it's insane how these liberals think. It's scary.
So MSNBC, they have a guest on. It's hosted by the bald-headed guy there. I don't remember his name. I cannot remember his name. He's bald. He's Muslim.
Yeah,
And
he loves his
he's the
bald
host.
head.
Yeah, and he's interviewing Robert Garcia, who's a Democrat congressman, big supporter of no southern border. It's not open borders. They just don't support us having a southern border, period.
Incredible.
And so we know that the people that are coming here illegally are they're Chinese, Hispanic, and Muslims.
They just want to destroy America.
Yeah.
That's all they want to do.
So we have this Muslim guy on MSNBC interviewing this Hispanic Democrat congressman about those of us who believe that we should have a southern border, that immigration should be regulated, and we don't really like the idea of these prisons getting emptied out, these criminals being sent here from Latin America and coming here and raping and killing our American women.
It's really shameful. It's disgusting. I think what he has done.
Now, keep in mind, the shameful, disgusting, he's not talking about the murders, the rapes, the drug trafficking, the sex trafficking. That's not what Garcia is talking about here.
It's really shameful. It's disgusting. I think what he has done to the immigration conversation has really set us back as a country. I mean, those men that died on that bridge are heroes. Those are the kind of men that I grew up with. I'm an immigrant.
He's talking about the illegals on the bridge, on the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore are here. The heroes are the illegals that were on the bridge.
Country. I mean, those men that died on that bridge are heroes. Those are the kind of men that I grew up with. I'm an immigrant. I came here as a young kid, come from a family of working class immigrants, and just to see folks from my family, like these men being demonized by a former president, by the Republican nominee for president, it is just disgusting. And Donald Trump and all the supporters should be ashamed of themselves.
Okay, President Trump's been married 3 times, 2 times to immigrants, okay? And both of them are legal
We're
immigrants.
not against immigrants.
No.
We're against these illegals that are coming in, and we're against our government that's letting this happen. And they know what they're doing, and these people are criminals. They're hurting us. They're killing people. They're committing crimes. They're bringing in diseases. They're not vaccinated against measles and things like that.
Exactly.
I mean, there's no regulation here. We're against an open border. We're against not having a regulated border. It's not the illegals. It's that there's no regulation in place. It's a free-for-all. That's what we're against, and it's creating problems, and we're paying for all this crap.
Yeah, I've got the listener cruise coming up. Our MAGA cruise is coming up in just a couple of weeks. And I got a notification from the cruise line. I didn't finish up all my paperwork that I have to do to board the ship. And what I didn't do is I didn't give them my travel document information. So I had to go on to their website and enter my passport number. I'm going to Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao with many of you nice listeners. Thank you very much for coming, those of you that are coming. But I can't go. I'm going to Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao for just a few hours on each stop, right? I'm not moving there. I'm not getting a job there or anything. And I have to show my travel documents.
Yeah.
I can't get on the ship without the travel documents. And, Steve had a mistake. We had to correct. His birth date didn't match his travel document. He entered his birth date wrong, when he signed up, for the cruise, Steve Kane. And so he wouldn't have been able to get on the ship. They said he wouldn't have been able to board if he didn't correct it before.
Goodness.
So why do we need to go through all these immigration hoops just to spend a couple hours in these countries? And these people are coming here and setting up whole lives with their whole families.
Yeah, they're getting gift cards and free housing, free medical, free clothes, free everything.
It's crazy.
Okay, this is not the same immigrants that came here from Ellis through Ellis Island.
No.
Okay, those people were not given handouts. That's right. They came to work
and Kathy,
and to help build the country. These people now are destroying, and they're taking all our money.
These countries I'm going to, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, okay, they require travel documents just to visit for a couple hours. This is the only country in the world that I know of that said, we don't have a southern border. Just come here. We're going to set you up in a retirement plan. We're going to feed, clothe, and house your entire family for life. Incredible. This is insane.
They're doing it because they're thinking ahead that they're going to be voting for them.
Now, Kash Patel was talking about investigating the media. This is an example. This is Jake Tapper. He's on CNN, and this is just disgusting. He's talking with Mike Turner, who is a Republican from Ohio. He's one of those kind of Republicans, the kind that CNN and MSNBC like. And they're talking about Newsmax and Fox News' primetime lineup.
An issue that's important to you and your fellow Republican chairman, Michael McCall, who runs the Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman McCall made a comment this week about what he says sounds like Russian propaganda from some conservative media.
You know, before I play the rest of this just blows my mind. Anytime something is reported they don't like, they call it Russian propaganda. It's just, it's bizarre. I mean...
it's just part of the big lie.
It's propaganda.
That's what they're saying is propaganda.
Michael McCall, who runs the Foreign Affairs Committee, Congressman McCall made a comment this week about what he says sounds like Russian propaganda from some conservative media, and why it's so difficult to explain to Republican voters why supporting Ukraine is important. He told Julia Yaffe, quote, "I think Russian propaganda has made its way into the United States, unfortunately, and it's infected a good chunk of my party's base." He singled out primetime shows on conservative channels. Do you agree with him? And how big is this problem?
Oh, it is absolutely true. We see directly coming from...
It's a Republican.
Attempts to mask communications that are anti-Ukraine and pro-Russia messages, some of which we even hear being uttered on the House floor. I mean, there are members of Congress today who still incorrectly say that this conflict between Russia and Ukraine is over NATO, which of course it is not. Yes, it is. Vladimir Putin having made it...
Okay, it goes on and on. To be opposed... Isn't this interesting? To be opposed to U.S. involvement in a war against Russia means you're a Russian agent spreading Russian propaganda.
Liberals,
that's a Republican.
Cannot handle. He's a
traitor Republican.
They cannot handle somebody with an opposing point of view, and they cannot fathom in their mind that if you disagree with them, that you're right in the head.
Yeah.
If you disagree with them, there's something wrong with you, or you're crooked, or you're being paid, or this or that. No, we just have a different point of view, a different perspective. That's all. Ours happens to be the right one. Mm-hmm. And, and they don't know what they're talking about, but they're just very arrogant. And now they've been trying so hard to bring down Fox and bring down their opposing networks. So this is, to me, just a pathetic attempt, to keep doing this.
Absolutely. Now, I want to thank all our Patreon supporters for their support of the program. Thank you so much, guys. And those of you that are Patreon supporters, remember to go to the Patreon page and take advantage of all the exclusive perks and benefits of that. And if you would like to support this show by becoming a Patreon supporter, there's a link in this and every episode of the program. And one of those perks is that our top Patreon supporters get a live on-air thank you shout-out on each and every episode. So the names you will hear now, these are our top Patreon supporters. I want to thank Andrew and Connie, Christine, ETW, Chuck, D, Pamela, Rick, Nick, Wesley, Macho, Mike P, Carlos, Paulette, John, ActicFox, Heather, David, Maria in Texas, Richard, Alice, K-Mac, LeeZep, Shawna, Constance, George, and Brandon. These are our top Patreon supporters. Thank you all. And again, if you would like to become a Patreon supporter, there's a link in the episode description. There are many perks, including Patreon supporters have access to commercial-free editions of all of our podcast episodes. We'll take our last break and be right back.
Are you a parent of a daughter? Then boy, do I ever have a book that I want to tell you about. But Dad, I Love Him, from author Kevin Boyle. It's loved by readers from around the globe, from places like Britain, Australia, Canada, the US, and Germany. Readers have been saying that, but Dad, I Love Him is one of the most captivating and eye-opening books you will ever read. Calling But Dad, I Love Him a book that's rich, insightful, and transformative, and deserving of a place on every woman's bookshelf. If you have a daughter, you are going to want to give her this book. It's a conversation that every parent should have with their daughter about life, love, dating, sex, and relationships. Buy it today. But Dad, I Love Him, from author Kevin Boyle. You can find it on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, and hardcover edition. But Dad, I Love Him is filled with easy-to-learn, easy-to-use, step-by-step real-world dating, relationship, and communication tips and strategies that will help any daughter of any age have a deep, fulfilling, loving, successful relationship. Order your copy right now. But Dad, I Love Him, from author Kevin Boyle, on Amazon. Men, are you tired of looking tired? You can turn your tired eyes into a vibrant and refreshed look with a specially formulated under-eye cream for men at Amazon.com/shops/Meditati. That's MEDITATI. This anti-aging formula is designed to repair and protect your eyes against the common signs of aging. Dark circles, puffiness, and those pesky crow's feet, gone. With Meditati, you'll say goodbye to those tired eyes and hello to a youthful appearance. It's packed with peptides, vitamin C, jojoba oil, green tea, CoQ10, and other essential ingredients. This formula will keep your under eyes bright and refreshed. It also keeps your skin hydrated with the highest quality natural and organic ingredients. It's crafted by skincare experts, and this non-greasy, lightweight formula absorbs quickly and efficiently, nourishing the skin around your eyes. So if you're tired of puffiness and wrinkles, go right now to Amazon.com/shops/Meditati. That's MEDITATI. Don't miss out on this chance to give your eyes the care they deserve, because you and your eyes deserve it. Amazon.com/shops/Meditati. Are you in need of a little encouragement? Are you searching for a spark of intrigue? Could you use a good laugh? Then check out Genesis-Revelation.life. Genesis-Revelation.life is your go-to destination for unique and heartfelt designs that resonate with your spirit. Picture this: thousands of meticulously crafted items, each one with a personal touch, from the whimsical to the profound. The designs at Genesis-Revelation.life cover a wide spectrum, ensuring there's something for everyone. Whether you're drawn to the warmth of Scripture or prefer non-scripture items, they've got you covered. T-shirts, leggings, totes, headbands, crossbody bags, blankets, journals, napkins, aprons, coasters, drinkware, and that's just the beginning. But what sets Genesis-Revelation.life apart from the rest is simple: a sprinkle of humor, a dash of intrigue, and a layer of comfort. Each design tells a story, seeking to connect with you on a deeper level. In a world that often feels impersonal, Genesis-Revelation.life stands out as a place where every item is designed with heart and soul. Tell your story with these unique designs. Shop now and let your spirit shine. And make sure to share the store on all your social media so your friends can discover Genesis-Revelation.life too. Genesis-Revelation.life, where every design is a connection waiting to happen. Start shopping right now. Genesis-Revelation.life. From 12-year-old author Nathan A. Lorenzo comes a children's book the entire family will enjoy together, Fox the Brave, available on Amazon and foxthebrave.com. When your little ones read Fox the Brave, they'll join Alex the Fox on a brave adventure as he faces his fears and sets out on a daring mission to save his family from a pack of hungry wolves. Fox the Brave is filled with vibrant illustrations and is perfect at bedtime. It's also a great addition for you teachers for your classroom reading collection. Fox the Brave is a journey of bravery, friendship, and teaches children about overcoming their fears. With simple rhyming sentences and valuable life lessons, Fox the Brave is the perfect book for young readers and parents. So grab your favorite blanket, cuddle up, and create lasting memories with your kids by bonding with them through story time. Fox the Brave, from author Nathan A. Lorenzo, is available right now on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, and Kindle Unlimited, as well as the website foxthebrave.com. Order your copy right now.
You are listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at briancraigshow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Now, last night, President Trump had what they say is a record-breaking fundraiser. He raised $50.5 million in one dinner in one night. Biden last week, he had Clinton and Obama with him, 3 presidents and celebrities, and the media were bragging all week long that he raised $25 million. President Trump broke a fundraising record, $50.5 million. No other presidents, just him, and it's like crickets, right? It's absolutely amazing. And this CNN, they talked about it a little bit this morning.
I think it stands in stark.
Oh, no, I can't stand corrected. It's MSNBC. Not that it matters, but I want to be accurate.
I think it stands in stark contrast to the lack of fundraising that you see out of the Trump campaign. But as important is how they are raising it. He's down in Mar-a-Lago tonight with a bunch of billionaires, people like John Paulson, who not only wants to cut Social Security, but he's famous for, as a hedge funder, rooting against the American economy, betting against the American economy. So I guess it's no surprise that he's investing in somebody like Donald Trump, who's rooting for the economy to crash. But the whole lot of them is a bunch of billionaires, scammers, extremists, and racists. I think
okay. Scammers and racist, and they want Social Security to fail, and
They're
Trump
panicking.
wants to. Now, see, he said a lot of stupid things, but I'll just focus on this. He says Trump wants the economy to fail. Why would Trump want the economy to fail? First of all, even if he wasn't president, right? He's going to be president again. Obviously, if he's the sitting president, he wants the economy to do well. But even if he wasn't, going to be president again, he is heavily invested in the American economy all over this country. Why would he want that to fail? That doesn't even make sense. Biden.
Well, it's what the left does. The fear tactics. They're panicking. I just retweeted the interactive polls. Trump's ahead still.
Yeah.
And in swing states and all over. And this is how they get people to hate Trump. They lie, first of all. I mean, if you support Biden and all this, haven't you learned from the last 6-7 years about all the lies they've said about Trump? Haven't you figured out that the media is lying to you and manipulating you? You got to ask yourself, why are they so desperate to do that? This is how the left controls people. It's mind control. They lie. Yeah. They use fear tactics. They scare you and, into things like that. And that's just what this is.
Yeah.
It's just more of this
and
BS.
They have these pat lines that they just make up with every Republican. They've always done this. They want to end Social Security. They want to.
I've been hearing it my whole life.
None of this stuff is true, no. And they rattle that line off.
Yeah. No
matter who the Republican is, when they've got nothing else to say. These are like knee-jerk reactions that you hear, right? I mean, but I'll tell you, these people that donated $50.5 million. I told you guys when I was there with those people, the ones that you're not allowed to have cameras around, right? Because they're so big. These big rich people donated to Trump. They're betting on him. These are not people that throw money away.
No.
They expect Trump to be back.
Right.
Right. And that's a good thing. They all want the economy to do well. See, the difference between Trump and Biden on the economy, Biden has nothing invested in the economy.
No.
Trump does. Biden makes his money not through the American economy, but by taking bribes. So he does whatever he has to do to get the money to come in through Burisma, whatever they're doing. Trump, he doesn't even take a salary. He loses money as president because he is away from his business.
Right.
His business is based on the American economy, not based on taking bribes. It's the complete opposite.
Well, Biden has celebrities that donate to him, and Trump has business owners. So that tells you everything you need to know. I found this article on the scam I was talking about, so I know a little bit more about it. And what they're doing is these cartels, they need money. And they have a new scam where they're going after older people with timeshares, people that want to get rid of their timeshares. Timeshare. My mom had a timeshare. It's a scam. You pay a huge fee up front, $40,000, $50,000, and you get like a week or 2 weeks vacation, but you have a fee every month. We looked into this because long time ago we were going to do the Disney timeshare.
Thank God we didn't.
Of course, we didn't do it. I'm like, this just doesn't make sense. It'd be cheaper just to go once for a week and get a nice hotel up there.
Yeah.
So what they do is they target people that are trying to get rid of their timeshares.
And you also have to pay like property taxes every year on these timeshares too.
And they convince them that to wire money, and because they have an investor that's out of the country, certain things have to happen and you have to wire money. And they're scamming a lot of people. This one guy, I mean, he said I read this article. He said, I should have listened to my wife. Yes, listen to your wife. He lost $50,000. I mean, how stupid can you be?
How do you do that?
He kept paying fees. They kept calling him and saying, well, you got to pay this fee and that fee. I mean, what an idiot. But I'm just saying, if you own a timeshare, be careful because they're targeting people, these cartels now, through timeshares and getting and targeting you. And that's another way they're getting money out of people.
Here's
crazy.
Here's the thing. Don't do any financial transactions with anybody over the phone.
No.
You don't know.
I mean, I have people that call. We donate money every month to certain charities, okay? But I have gone on their website, like I'll see a commercial like Tunnel to Towers or the Shriners, that's who I donate to. And then this Catholic one I do. I go to their website and set it up myself. Anybody who calls me asking for money, I don't give them my credit card over the phone. I tell them, send me something in the mail.
Exactly.
Give me your website. I'll look at it. But I don't ever give anybody my financial information anymore, ever over the phone. I remember in the old days before Amazon and that you buy things online. I mean, you buy things over the phone. In the old days, we used to do that. You'd see something on TV, you'd call, or people would call you. Oh, do you want to buy this? Don't ever give anybody any financial or wire money or anything. But people are so desperate, apparently, to get rid of their timeshares because it becomes like, an albatross around your neck that they get easily conned. And this guy told him there was an investor that wanted to buy it for $200,000. So he's thinking, well, if I pay 50 or 25 in fees, I'll make that money back.
Yeah.
No. So just be careful. This is another way they're trying to get at us. It's just, it's crazy.
This
sucker born every minute, I guess.
This Trump fundraiser is now officially the largest, most successful fundraiser in history.
I just read that.
In history.
The left is just losing it.
This is absolutely amazing because the reason this happened for many, but one of the reasons is because the Trump family took over the RNC. And I told you guys,
that's right.
The RNC, Republican National Committee, the RNC was working to lose elections, not win them. And
this is a game changer.
And now that the Trumps control the RNC and have Lara Trump over there, Eric's wife, overseeing everything. I know she's not the official head, but she really is, and she's got a
Scott Pressler.
Yeah. She's there watching everything. Yep. She's the big one that's really in charge, Lara Trump.
For sure.
It's not a coincidence. They take over the RNC, have a fundraiser, and it's the biggest one in history. And it shows you how hard the RNC has been working to lose elections by not raising money.
No, It's a game changer having her and this guy and Scott Pressler running the show. And I'm not exactly sure how Trump managed this. He has a lot more power over the Republican Party than they want you to think, because you got Mitch McConnell and all these guys that are trying desperately. I mean, Karl Rove had like an absolute meltdown over Trump and all this stuff. They have lost control of the party and they cannot handle it. And I don't know how this all went down with Lara and this guy taking over. I know they fired Ronna McDaniel. They were losing money. They were going bankrupt because everybody was giving money to Trump and not them, and nobody likes the rhinos.
That's right.
But however it went down, good for them, and she's doing a great job. And they fired pretty much everybody, brought in all new people that are loyal to Trump and going to do the right thing with the money. And I think that was the final nail in the coffin for these rhinos because they don't control those coffers anymore.
Now, I want to read this. This is very important. I'm going to retweet this, too, on my Twitter, Brian Craig Show. And this is about Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels not only said that she did not have a sexual encounter with President Trump, She signed a statement saying that, and I want to read to you the statement.
Yes.
And it says right here, and it's signed by her, official statement of Stormy Daniels. It's dated January 30th, 2018. So Stormy Daniels signed
6
this,
years ago.
okay? To whom it may concern, over the past few weeks, I'll remember this is 2018 she signed this.
Yes.
To whom it may concern, over the past few weeks, I have been asked countless times to comment on reports of an alleged sexual relationship I had with Donald Trump many, many, many years ago. The fact of the matter is that each party to this alleged affair denied its existence in 2006, 2011, 2016, 2017, and now again in 2018. I am not denying this affair because I was paid hush money, as has been reported in overseas-owned tabloids. This is Stormy Daniels' signed statement. I am denying this affair because it never happened. I will have no further comment on this matter. Please feel free to check me out on Instagram at the Stormy Daniels. And then she signed it with her signature, Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels signed a statement that she did not have sex with Donald Trump.
I think what happened is, I could be wrong, I think Michael Cohen grifted Trump out of money, used her to do it, and then she saw how lucrative it was for her, and she went with it. She's got a documentary on Peacock, for God's sake.
This is what I think. Yes, this is how I think. I agree.
She went with it. She thought, well, I'm making a boatload of money. Why not?
No, yeah, she's making more than the OnlyFans girls.
She'll be on there soon, I'm sure.
This is what. Oh yeah, she'd be big as Britney Spears, if not bigger.
She'd make money on that for sure.
This is what happened. I think there was a story a couple weeks ago that Stormy Daniels was having an affair with Michael Cohen.
Yeah.
Remember, Michael Cohen paid this money out of like a home equity line.
Yeah,
or something.
there's something going on.
This
with
is what
those
I
two.
think happened.
Yeah,
I think she went to Michael Cohen to shake him down for money. He paid her with his own money, and to cover the story with his wife, Michael Cohen says it's for Donald Trump.
Right.
And I think that's how this whole thing started.
Yeah, I think so.
I really do.
Yeah.
Well, listen, guys, if you're new to the program, make sure you follow and subscribe on whatever platform you are listening to us on. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. We'll talk to you next time.